All right, run me through the past 3 days. Day number one, from what I understand, you were on fire there for a while. I know Bill Shimoda was next to you, and he watched you put on a clinic.
Yeah, I fished really well. I really did. Obviously, Bill did very well himself. I fished a little shallower than a lot of guys on day one. Casting crankbaits to rocks, and I think that paid off a little bit for me in the morning. I was fortunate enough to get a couple kicker fish in the morning, which put me at ease, and ran around the whole lake looking. And that spot that I went to day one, there wasn't a fish in it day two. Bill and I both started up there at the bridge and didn't catch a fish. And I ran around the lake. I got lucky. I dropped on this rock hump that was loaded with 3.5, 4 pounders. So I ended up getting a decent day. And went there this morning, and they weren't there. But I only spent about half an hour before I scrambled and went to my third spot, and they were loaded in there. One of those just magical moments where they're all there in a tournament, and it just happened.
Okay, and let's talk about, what types of areas. Obviously rock humps were working well for you, things like that. What were you looking for? I know you said you got a lot of spots.
Yeah, a lot of the fish this week I caught, holes by bridges were really good, obviously. A lot of the big weights came out of the Pelican bridges, and all of the bridges had fish on them. So bridges were key, deep rock piles were key, and wind-blown rock points. I think that was really good. I know Tom Keenan was throwing shad wraps to points. I caught quite a few of my fish on day two on points. So when the wind blew, I was fishing more shallow rock and current areas. But today, when the wind laid down, I went more to the channel type areas by bridges.
Okay, and let's talk about those best baits that were working for you.
Yeah, I was using two sizes of crankbaits. I was throwing a number 7 rattle and shad wrap when it was deeper and when I wanted to get down the bank where the rocks were, and then more on the flats, on the wind-blown flats, I went to a 5, where I didn't need the bait to dive so deep. And then the jigging wraps were really the key. It just crushes fish. It's just amazing. They're basically an ice fishing lure, if you will. Not anymore. They work just as good open water.
Okay, and now this win, what does it mean to you?
Oh man, I can't tell you. We work so hard, and for it to pay off, financially, it'll certainly help a lot, pay all the bills, and help me maintain my sponsors, and it's a big deal. We're my wife and I are working very hard to support the 3 kids, and the win is really, really tremendous.
All right.